Welcome to BootSpy at the Big Rock. Today I'm reviewing the Thursday President. I'm going to talk about the style, leather quality, sole quality, fit and sizing, durability, and ultimately whether or not these boots are right for you. Let's get into it. Let's start off by talking about the style of the Thursday President. So this boot is often compared with the Thursday Captain. I know the first time I was looking at Thursday boots, I couldn't really decide whether I wanted the President or the Captain. If you want to see a full detailed breakdown of the differences between these two boots, go right up there and hit that button. That's a recent video where I break down everything you need to know when choosing between the Captain and the President. However, if you're just interested in the President, the main difference is that there is no cap toe, so the President is a plain toe service boot, and then you can find a few options, a few color options without these speed hooks. However, I got the rugged and resilient tobacco leather, and that does feature these speed hooks, so really the only difference between the Thursday Captain and this Thursday President is the fact that the President has no cap toe. I really like the style of the President. It's really slim, sleek. It goes perfect with a pair of slim jeans, especially if you cuff the bottom there. And really, it's a great boot for, it's not dressy, it's not too casual, it's right in the balance, and it's a perfect city boot. As I said, I picked up the President in the rugged and resilient tobacco leather. This leather is really, really high quality. I also picked up a Captain in Arizona Adobe. So I've been kind of testing out these two rugged and resilient leathers, and I really, really like them. They have a matte appearance, so they're not quite as shiny. My first pair of Thursday boots was the Captain in their like standard brown, which kind of reminds me a lot of Chrome Excel leather. It has a natural shine to it, really oily and waxy. I would not say that this is oily and waxy at all. Very matte and a little bit of a roughed out appearance, but it is perfect for that casual style. It's been doing really well handling all that dirt, dust without getting any sort of scratches. There's a lot of sand, so I haven't noticed any scratches on the leather itself. So it's been doing really, really well there. So the leather's quite thick, and then it also has a glove leather lining. So ultimately, when you put this boot on, it definitely feels really substantial, really durable, and the leather is a big part of that. As for the sole quality here, this does feature a custom rubber studded sole. This reminds me a lot of a day-night sole. The studs offer a good amount of grip, and they also, the rubber isn't super hard, so it does have a lot of shock absorption. One of the things I do like about the Thursday President is that it has a leather stacked midsole and the leather stacked heel. So there's a lot of durability in this boot built into that sole. It does have a 360-degree Goodyear welt, so that basically means that whenever the sole wears out, which for me and my Captains, I've had them for about 4 years, the sole wore out, I'd say about year 3, but it's really easy to get those resoled. It costs like $60 or something like that at your local cobbler. It looks just as good as new as soon as you get it resoled. So the 360-degree Goodyear welt helps a ton in that regard. And it also offers a lot of water resistance. The President has a cork midsole, which offers a lot of shock absorption, cushion, comfort. And it also has a Dura EVA comfort strip, which again, just makes these feel almost like they're sneakers rather than your hardcore boots. So they have all that longevity, durability from the leather stacked heel, leather midsole, cork midsole, but then they also have a sort of more sneaker-like feeling from that comfort strip in the midsole as well. As for durability, I've only had these boots for about a month. I've been stomping around here out in the desert, so I can't really speak directly to this pair of boots, but I did get a pair of Thursday Captains 4 years ago. If you want to see the review there and see how those are looking after 4 years, you can hit that video that just popped up right there. But basically, I have no doubt that these are going to last just as long. Basically, the construction is the same. It's almost the same boot. It just doesn't have the cap toe. So knowing that my Captains lasted 4 years and they're still going strong, I have no doubt that the President is going to last just as long. I'm pretty curious to see how the leather ages. I think this should patina a little bit nicer, or it's definitely going to patina differently than the brown leather that I had in my first pair of Captains. So I'm interested to see that, but I see no reason why it wouldn't be just as durable, why it wouldn't last 4 or 5 years for this President. When it comes to fit and sizing, Thursday recommends you go a half size down from your true sneaker size. So I am a size 10.5 normally in the sneakers that I wear. So I picked this up in a size 10, and I would say that it fits really well. If anything, it fits a little bit snug. So I think I could have gotten away with a 10.5, my true sneaker size. But having a 10, it's fine. I think the leather is going to stretch out a little bit, so it'll break into my foot a little bit more. Speaking of break-in period, with my Thursday Captains, that brown leather, I didn't have any sort of break-in period at all. But with this rugged and resilient tobacco leather, I have noticed I was getting a blister on my right heel for the first 4 or 5 wears, and that blister was kind of persistent, but now at this point, I think I put in about 10 miles on them, so I'm not feeling that blister anymore. So the break-in, I'm gonna say it's gonna take 10 miles, however many wears that is for you. Once you get past that, break-in's done. Here's my final verdict on the Thursday President. Overall, it is hard to beat the quality and value of this boot. At $199, you're getting that 360-degree Goodyear welt, you're getting awesome leather quality, you're getting that fantastic rubber studded sole, and ultimately these boots kind of feel almost like sneakers. They have the comfort level of sneakers, so you can do so much walking in these, and that makes them a fantastic city boot. For me, it's a big toss-up between the President and the Captain. I personally prefer the Captain a little bit more because it does have that cap toe. There's no difference between the quality, the construction is the same, the materials are just as high quality between those two boots, and the price is the same. So it's really ultimately, do you like the cap toe or the plain toe? I prefer the cap toe, so I prefer the Captain. But the President is still this is a fantastic adventure boot. I've been putting on miles here in the desert. It's been an outstanding boot, super comfortable, minus that little brief break-in period. But besides that, I mean, I'm gonna have this boot for 4 or 5 years. And Thursday, they're the brand I always recommend all my friends when they're looking for their first pair of really high quality footwear. Again, because it has that 360-degree Goodyear welt, that means it's really water resistant, and then it's also going to be easy to resole over time. So you can basically hold on to these boots for, if you took good care of them, they'd last 10 years with a couple of resoles. 10 years, no problem. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button down below and also give me a thumbs up. It's super helpful for the channel and I really appreciate it. If you're ever driving down Southern California, the 138, make sure you stop by the Big Rock Inn. It is an awesome desert dive bar. That's where I've been filming this whole thing. So yeah, if you jump in, say BootSpy sent you, they'll have no idea what you're talking about. But just do it anyway. So until next time, put your best boot forward.